to another episode of DLBTV. I am your host, DLB. Make sure you guys check out the website, DLB-Network.com. So in this week's episode, we've been hearing a lot of rumors about, the PlayStation 4. And, you're going to be hearing rumors, of course. But this one actually, out of all the rumors, stuck out to me, not only because of it being a rumor about the next PlayStation 3, but also because it's a rumor by a source that really not too often gets things wrong. So we're going to go ahead and jump into things. So it was first reported by the DigiTimes, and DigiTimes gets a lot of things right. They've got a lot of the iPhone hardware right. They got a lot of the iPhone release dates right. They got the new Xbox 360 information right, where when they announced the Kinect 360, so to speak, the one that's compatible, the one that's compatible with the Kinect. So they've gotten a lot of things right, and that's why this time around it's kind of hard not only to believe them, but also a few of their sources as well. Because I first found the story on G4, and then I just took it into my own hands and, just kind of followed the story from there. So basically what's going on is the PlayStation 4 is supposedly going to start being developed this fall. And this information was told to DigiTimes by Taiwan, which is a Taiwan maker of the PlayStation 3. Of course, you would think these guys would know, right? Because if they're reporting it, they're the ones who have to make the system, then, But they didn't say specifically which one of the Taiwan makers. There's millions upon millions of them, so, there's no telling who actually said what. But one of the things that kind of struck me was the fact that they're saying that the PlayStation 4 is supposed to have or either be built in or come supporting a Kinect type of motion gaming. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, okay, Sony's copying. But honestly, if you really look at it, Sony has done what the Kinect is doing now for some time, ever since the PlayStation 2, to be honest with you. It's not as in-depth, like basically what Microsoft has done, which a lot of companies do. They see something that another company does, and then they take it to the next level. And that's what the Kinect is. The Kinect is the iToy, PlayStation Eye. It's basically that on steroids. That's exactly what it is. You have a built-in mic. It actually tracks your movement. So if you move around, you don't have to walk up to your TV and turn the camera. It'll actually turn for you. Not all the way into 360, but it'll slightly turn left and slightly turn right. And it has face detection, so it zooms in on your face, and then when you walk away, it zooms out. So it has features in there that are really nice, and that the PlayStation 3, or should I say not the PlayStation 3 as a system, but the PlayStation Eye or iToy offers. So it's supposed to have a full body Kinect style motion control type of device, either built into the system or a peripheral that will come with the system. Everywhere that I've picked up my pieces of news from is kind of one saying this and one saying that. So obviously none of this is confirmed and it's a rumor. Now, do I think it's true? I don't know. Because basically what's going on, let's go back to the beginning. So they're supposed to be having them develop this fall, and then come launch time next year, they want to have 20 million consoles ready at launch. That to me is the iffy part. I've never seen that many consoles ready at launch. And then you have to go back to what Jack Tretton said at E3. But then again, it's not like Sony would let the cat out of the bag right now, because that's going to stop their sales of the PS3, because you'll have people wanting to wait. So, I can understand. That's why I'm kind of on the fence about it, because of course, if I'm a CEO of a company, I'm not going to kill my product that's on shelves now. So of course, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you, yeah, no, we're not doing anything right now. We're just focusing on the console that's out now, which is true. They are focusing on the PS3 right now, But that's not saying in the background there's not somebody else, the guys over in China who manufacture it, the brains behind the PlayStation 3. Believe me, they have been working on the PlayStation 4 for some time now. Now, the fact is it ready for development? Is it ready to be built? And is it ready to ship next year? That's where the question is. And like I was saying, going back to Jack Tritton, he's not, you wouldn't put your product on the line like that, because that's basically what you're doing. You're basically setting your product that you have out right now for failure. A perfect example is they announced the PSP. Anybody with a brain in their head is not going to go and buy a PSP right now. You're going to wait for the new PSP 2, which is what they should have called it. But but you're going to wait for the new PSP. You're not going to go out and buy a PSP right now unless you don't know any better. But people like us who follow the news, we know better, so we're not going to go buy anything like that. The PSP, they can afford to do that. The PSP's been on the market for some time now. I'm pretty sure to stay on the market, they'll just drop the price and launch the new PSP. With the PlayStation 3, they're not gonna put the PlayStation 3 in that. They're not gonna open those can of worms just yet. So that's why I kind of believe some of the stories that are going on. Now, what will really be great, because one of the things that it stated, it states that they plan to ship a volume of at least 20 million units at launch. That would be the most successful launch ever for them as far as gaming goes. If they're able to ship 20 million PlayStation 3s at launch, that would be a huge, huge success. A huge success. But will it happen? That's the question. So I want you guys to let me know. Leave your comments. What are some of the things you'd like to see in the PlayStation 4? What are you guys looking for in the future? Are you guys even ready for a new PlayStation console? Because I, for one, I don't think we necessarily need it yet. I mean, look at Uncharted. Uncharted looks phenomenal. And according to developers and Sony, they're just now scratching the surface of what the PlayStation 3 can do. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think they're going to wait until, the PlayStation 3 is going downward before they launch another console. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is I personally still think it's a little too early. Maybe 2013, but not 2012. That's just me. I can see Microsoft doing it. But, I mean, honestly, at the same time, I really can't see them launching a console either because, I mean, the Xbox 360 is doing really good right now. The Kinect is selling well. The Kinect is picking up momentum. Xbox Live is at its peak, and they're still adding stuff to it. They just added the DVR feature, or will be adding the DVR feature when their update comes out this fall. I mean, Microsoft is on a roll right now, and Sony, they're doing great right now too. So they're both somewhat. Microsoft is more in their prime than Sony is right now. So I think it'd be kind of dumb for either one of them to kind of launch a console next year. But if they do it, I mean, of course I'm going to be buying both of them, so it really doesn't matter what I think. But that's just my opinion. So you guys, leave your opinions in the comments. Make sure you guys comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys check out the website, DLB-Network.com. I have been your host, DLB. Until the next video, peace.